In a world that keeps spinning faster, where chaos roars louder than peace and uncertainty clouds every step we take, there is one anchor, one unshakable truth, one presence that never leaves your side, and that is God. When fear grips your heart and hope feels like a fading light, remember this: God has never stopped working, never stopped loving, never stopped carrying you, even when you couldn't feel it. This is the reminder your soul has been waiting for. The invisible hand behind your survival, your growth, your purpose, and your ultimate redemption. And while the world might measure success by possessions, power, or fame, God measures it by your endurance, your faith, and your ability to keep walking even when the road disappears beneath your feet. And if you've ever been broken, betrayed, overlooked, underestimated, or misunderstood, understand this: God wasn't punishing you. He was preparing you, not for comfort, but for greatness, not for applause, but for alignment, not for perfection, but for power forged through pain, for wisdom shaped by tears, for strength birthed in silence. Because God doesn't build warriors in the spotlight. He shapes them in the dark, in the quiet places where no one sees you cry, where no one hears your prayers, where no one claps for your courage but God. And when everyone walks away, your plans crumble and the people you trusted the most hurt you the worst, it's not a sign that you've lost. It's proof that you're being repositioned by divine hands. Because God will remove what you think you need to give you what you truly deserve. He will close doors you were never meant to walk through, break attachments that were draining your soul, and block blessings that your character isn't ready to handle. Not because he's cruel, but because he sees the full picture while you only see a puzzle piece. So if you're waiting, hurting, questioning your worth, wondering if the silence means God has forgotten you, remember this: diamonds are buried, gold is refined, and eagles fly alone. Your current struggle is not your final chapter. It's the prologue to a story of breakthrough, and your tears are not signs of weakness. They are holy seeds being sown into your future. So don't stop praying. Don't stop believing. Don't stop walking, because your faith is doing more than you can see. And when it feels like nothing is working, that's when God is working the most, arranging divine appointments, stirring hearts in rooms you haven't entered yet, preparing answers to prayers you haven't even spoken. And when the time is right, not when you're desperate, not when you're ready to give up, but when your soul is aligned, God will move suddenly, restoring what was lost, multiplying what was left, and honoring the fight you gave in silence. Because God never forgets faithfulness. He doesn't ignore loyalty, and he never overlooks pain given with purpose. So no matter how long the night, the morning will come. No matter how deep the valley, the mountaintop is ahead. And no matter how far you've fallen, God can lift you higher than where you started. For he specializes in turning the rejected into rulers, the broken into builders, and the ordinary into extraordinary. And while people may judge you by your past, God sees your future. While they see your failures, he sees your fight. While they count you out, God is counting on you not to be perfect, but to be faithful. Not to impress others, but to trust him. Because faith doesn't make things easy. It makes them possible. And your story doesn't end in pain. It begins in purpose. And when you walk with God, you don't walk alone. He goes before you to prepare the way, behind you to protect your past, beside you to comfort your fears, and within you to give you power. And that's why you must rise. Not because everything is easy, but because God is with you in everything. And when the world tells you to quit, God whispers, keep going. When life tells you you're not enough, God declares you are mine. And when your heart screams that it's over, God calmly says, I'm just getting started. Trust the delay. Embrace the detour. Honor the discipline. Because nothing is wasted with God. Every pain has purpose. Every setback is a setup. And every ending is really a beginning in disguise. And if you're still breathing, God's not done. If your heart is still beating, your mission isn't over. And if you've survived the worst days of your life, it's because the best ones are still coming. So don't measure your value by what you've lost. Measure it by what you've learned. And remember that sometimes the greatest blessings come wrapped in the ugliest seasons. Because God doesn't bless you just to make you comfortable. He blesses you to make you capable of carrying more, leading more, loving more, and becoming more. Not just for yourself, but to be a light for others who are walking through the same fire you once did. So rise with faith, fight with trust, speak with power, and walk like someone who knows that the creator of the universe lives within you, that storms may rage, but your anchor holds, that you are not defined by your past, but refined by your faith, and that no matter how long it takes, what God has promised you will come to pass, for his word does not return void. His timing is never late, and his power knows no limit. So hold on, rise up, never forget, you were chosen. You were created with purpose. You were covered by grace, and you are walking with God. And that, my friend, is more than enough to conquer anything.